Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. In this video, we're going to talk all about manifesting relationships and how to be a vibrational match. We're going to talk all about the building phase and aligning with this person and what happens behind the scenes. Okay, so usually what will happen is the universe will prepare you to be a vibrational match for this person. So for example, you might walk on the street and your soulmate might be walking past you and you won't be able to recognize them vibrationally. Like, you won't notice them. And why is this? Because you are not a vibrational match to them. It hasn't been activated within you. You don't have enough in resonance. So you're not in alignment to see them. So for example, like divine timing needs to happen, okay? You're being baked in the oven. They're being baked in the oven to where you are now a vibrational match. And it's like, oh, so for example, you might not be a vibrational match yet because you might have certain lessons that you need to learn. You might have to be in other relationships first that are going to prepare you for this person. So a funny thing that I saw from Abraham Hicks is her and Jerry, or Esther Hicks and Jerry, Esther Hicks had an apartment, and when she left her apartment, Jerry, her soulmate, ended up moving into it, and they just missed each other. And it's because they weren't a match to seeing each other yet. They weren't a match to meeting yet. So you might have to go through certain life circumstances to be formed and shaped for this relationship to actually work. So for example, let's say you're wanting a long-term partner, you're wanting the soulmate. You might have to go through different relationships that bring up different shadows or different lessons in order for you. So going back, we are like this human, we're playing in the simulated reality, and we have different levels of the game that we need to play in order for us to level up. So sometimes this could be dating different people. Each level of the game has a different challenge, and it has a different thing that we have to heal, or a different thing that we need a lesson that we need to learn. So for example, you might date someone who's a love avoidant, and then you do the inner work around why you're attracted to that. It could be something from your childhood. It could be like a trauma bond. It could be that you have codependency that you need to heal. And so once you heal that wound, you heal that shadow, then you get to move to the next level of the game. And that might be all about learning to love yourself, learning to see the best in you, learning to love yourself without makeup, maybe. And then you level up to the next part of your game, which might be dating someone new who reflects something else back to you that you need to heal and you need to shift and shape. So for example, you might attract someone who's in a relationship with someone else, and you're wanting monogamy and they're wanting, like, I don't know, to be in an open relationship or something, and that's not authentic to you. So that's helping you to get to the next level of the game because it's helping you to know what you have going on in your field. It's an opportunity to upgrade your field to let you know what you're a vibrational match to, so that you can be like, no, I want monogamy. So now you anchor that into your energy field, and you're able to move to the next level where someone else is now going to come in and mirror your new manifestation to you, okay? So each relationship helps us to build and create another relationship because of the growth that each relationship causes us to have because of the contrast. When you know what you don't want, then you know what you do want. So it's all about, we're getting to know ourselves in each relationship and what we're wanting. Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit more. So you are getting ready to be able to recognize this other person. So I have a story of a friend who's very psychic and intuitive, and she got a download that her friend they were going to be in a relationship or something. Like, they were deep soul connections, and that this person was meant to be with her. But this other person, we'll call this other person George. George was dating Samantha, and Samantha ended up finding out, and we'll call my friend Barbara because we usually do. Samantha ended up finding out and getting mad at Barbara, and they all ended up blocking each other and had no way of being able to reach out to each other because George didn't know Barbara's phone number. They were just connected through social media. But anyways, okay. So what happens in situations like that is that George and Barbara weren't a vibrational match to recognizing each other. It was too soon. The energy hadn't built up enough towards where they would see each other and be like, there they are. The magic is there. I love you. I love you. And divine timing happens and they're able to recognize each other. And it's like, oh, this just makes so much sense. But because Barbara knew before it made sense to her, like it felt forced. Okay, so life circumstance has to happen for you to be able to actually recognize this person. Okay. So what happened during the gap is Barbara ended up getting a bunch of cool haircuts, traveling, dating someone new, and George ended up breaking up with Samantha and ended up realizing that Barbara was what he was wanting. George ended up trying to find Barbara everywhere, trying to go to all these spiritual events, trying to find... My cat really likes the smell of this sweater. George ended up going to all these spiritual events, trying to see if Barbara would be there, trying to manifest Barbara back into his life. Whereas Barbara was in this relationship with this person kind of opened up her heart and made her realize that she would actually want someone like George romantically. And George realized he wanted someone like Barbara romantically. They both thought they'd never see each other again. And then when they least expected it, from a place of alignment, the universe brought them together in the same location at the same time. They were both kind of shocked to see each other. And then the lights went off like, da, da. And there was attraction. There was activation. They were ready for each other. They were ready for you're actually kind of attractive to me in this moment. And sparks went off. And yeah. So when we were like told like, oh, hey, you're going to go, I don't know, like with the pandemic, like, oh, you're going to wear a mask. Like, no, not enough life has happened to where it's kind of like a shock to you. Or it's like, oh, hey, you're going to meet this person that you already know and you're going to be in a relationship with them. And you're like, no, I'm not ready. Like, you're not energetically there yet. You might have other things that you're working towards. The universe hasn't built you up to like be able to see them that way. Okay. Like, you're not a vibrational match to them. So, so let's look behind the scenes. Let's say you're trying to let's say that you're trying to manifest someone. What happens, or you're not really trying to manifest them. I feel like there's soul contracts, like you're wanting something and then this other person on a soul level is also wanting, and you're wanting something and you're like, oh, hey, like maybe we can make an agreement. We can play out these roles for each other. And so your heart cord goes out to their heart cord. And then every relationship that you have is like a building and a stepping stone towards maybe that relationship that you have a soul contract with. And I think almost all relationships are probably soul contracts. So what that might look like is you might date a bunch of people who are codependent, and this person that you might end up with might be a love avoidant, and they need to date a bunch of codependents so that you can do the inner work to where when you guys meet, it can actually be lasting. It's not going to be short term. So maybe you'll date like the short term people first so that you can have your wounds brought up that are preventing you from having a lasting relationship with this other person. I also wanted to say, like, you know, let's say it is someone who's your friend or someone that you pass every day at the gym and you just never looked at them that way. Sometimes something can be activated within you to where you start noticing them differently. You're like, I don't know, I didn't notice you before, but now I do, and you're like suddenly attractive to me. That's also something that can happen. So for like George and Barbara, you know, something could have activated within them to where George was like, okay. You know, I've seen this in movies too, where, I don't know, maybe it's like what was it, like The Proposal, where there's the boss and she like blackmails her assistant into marrying her to get a green card. And then he starts, like, something activates within him to where he's like, okay, like, I'm actually kind of attracted to you. But it doesn't always, I think it's because he actually got to know her on a deeper level. But it's not always like that. Like, sometimes it literally is, like, you don't have to know this person, but something activates within you and you start being attracted to them more. But anyway, something that I've said in other videos is sometimes you know when this person's coming because you have, like I said, like your heart cord reaches out to their heart cord and you start becoming their mirror and vice versa. So what this might look like is you might be pulled to go to the gym more, you might be pulled to do yoga or different things, you might be pulled to dress a certain way. And it's because you're becoming their mirror. You're becoming a vibrational match to them. They're going to be able to recognize you or be attracted to you or have things in common with you that maybe you didn't before. Now, there's another way of looking at this. If you are conscious and you're like anchoring in and aligning with who you truly are, then the other person is also going to mirror you. Okay? If you're like fully being authentic, but like we do mirror the people in our lives, we start becoming like them. That's definitely a thing. But the more that we anchor in who we truly are, then the world also, mirrors us and we gift the world with that. That's another topic to kind of talk about. But anyways, if you haven't liked this video already, please like it and please subscribe to my channel. It helps me out. I love talking about stuff like this. So yeah, we are constantly building and being prepared for what's next. We are constantly on a journey and we're constantly aligning with like the next thing that's coming up. Everything is a building and growing, okay? So, sending everyone so much love and light. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you.